swinging a drive, right field and deep. Back goes Aquino. It's got a chance. Gone. Get out the tape measure. Long gone. Fly the W.
Cubs fans, it's time to fly the W with Dustin Rhodes and Paul Crawley-Jean.
Welcome, everybody, to a special live edition of the Fly the W podcast. We're happy to have on Kevin Schwartz of Schwartz Sports and also partner with the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Kevin, how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no time, man. No problem. It's that time of year. Spring show for the Sports Spectacular is going to be held on March 15th through the 17th. But Kevin, the important date to keep in mind is this Monday, February 5th. Pre-sale tickets for the show begin at 9 a.m. And with this amazing lineups you guys have put together so far, it would be wise to get your tickets early. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, especially for some of the headliners that we're going to have. Some of them do have limited autographs per day. And then also we go by number order. So the earlier you get your ticket, the higher number you'll get, and the sooner you'll get in line.
Well, let's talk about the lineup because, that's what everybody's excited, and you take a look at some of these headliners here. You got Mike Tyson, you got Hulk Hogan, you got Ric Flair. How about Mark Grace for all you Cub fans out there? And for the Southside Brethren, Jermaine Dye, 2005 World Series MVP. And you know what? That's all good and exciting, Kevin. But the biggest name, I would say the biggest get as far as autograph shows are concerned in I don't know how many years, Sammy Sosa makes his triumphant return to Chicago. And the world found out when you guys dropped your video on the Facebook, and this is what Sammy Sosa had to say.
This is Sammy Sosa. I'm coming to Chicago. Looking forward to see you at the Chicago Sports Spectacular on March 16, 17. Hope to see you there. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Oh, my God. People went nuts, Kevin. And, here's the thing, Kevin, is that this is not, you're not the first person to try to get Sammy to come back and do a public. How did you pull this off? How did you reel the big fish in? Let me know, please.
Well, Sammy is someone that we've been going after for several years now. And, the offer that we had to him and, for him, I think the timing's right for him to come back. And I think he misses the fans of Chicago and the city as much as we'd probably miss seeing him around.
Yeah, and I think it was a big deal because they had mentioned that his name was on the ballot for the Hall of Fame, for the Cubs Hall of Fame. So like you said, I think the timing is right. And for people that have been waiting to get those Sosa autographs to see Sammy, this has got to be his first public appearance in Chicago. And I don't even know how long. What would you say? Got to be 20 years.
I mean, I've been in the industry for 23 years now, and I've never seen him do a public. I know we announced it as his first public, at least since he was with the Cubs. I know people were saying he might have done some small thing his rookie year or second year while he was still on the South Side. But it's going to probably be around 30 years since he's done a public autograph appearance where he can meet and greet with the fans.
Wow. And so that is just got to be unreal. But, obviously with a guy like Sosa, it's going to be just, there's so much to do. And you guys have this amazing VIP event. Sosa's going to be there all weekend. If people are wondering, there were some questions originally. Was he going to be there Saturday, Sunday? He is going to be with the Chicago Sports Spectacular Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why don't you tell us, Kevin, a little bit about this VIP event on Friday?
So yeah, on Friday we are doing a VIP dinner with Sosa. There are 25 spots available to the public. It's going to be in Rosemont where the show is. We're located at Rosemont Stevens Convention Center. It's going to be across the street at Gibson's. And there'll be a prefix menu with it. Along with, you also get an autographed Sammy Sosa bat. And then he'll take pictures with those that are there, and have conversations with them while they eat dinner. It is one ticket per person, and the tickets start at are $19.98.
Okay, so it's 1998 per person, so roughly about $2,000. And so you're going to have dinner at Gibson's, which is just phenomenal. Alcohol is not included. You get the autographed Sosa bat. And then there's going to be a Q&A with Sammy, you know, when you talk about that. And then not only that, that's going to include a VIP package for 3-day admission, front of the line for the rest of the weekend. So that is got to be, I know you've done it before, those VIP dinners. I think it was with Dennis Rodman, if my mind serves correct and stuff. I know you've done them in the past, right?
Yeah, we did one with Rodman about a year ago, 9 months ago, you know, and it was great. You know, we had, I think that one was 25 people as well. We basically set up 3 different tables of 8, and the player goes around to each table throughout the night and meets everyone, talks to everyone, and you got to have a real conversation with them as well. As not just like when you go through the autograph line and it's real quick and you get, you know, a minute with them, and then the next person comes up. You know, the fans actually got time to ask him questions, have a good time. You know, they were buying him beers and stuff like that. So it's a little more intimate of a setting.
And the fun thing about that is the guys kind of, I've been to intimate settings with other players, and they let their guards down a little bit. They're not, you know what I mean? And they're able to kind of talk just freely. And that's the best thing, is the stories, the behind the scenes stories that they tell.
Yeah. I know when I've done stuff with players, you do get some of those, you know, stories that they don't even release to the public or the media. And plus you get to see them in a different light as a real person and get that fan experience that most people dream of.
Well, if that maybe is not going to be your thing on Friday night, Sammy will be available on Saturday, and the photo ops start at 2 p.m. And the one thing I would recommend, if you've never kind of done a photo op, and Kevin, you know exactly where I'm going with this, get there early. Don't come up at 2 o'clock thinking, you know, because I mean, I'm sure with Sosa you'd be fine, but in general with the photo ops, once these guys are done and there's no one else to take a photo, then they go signing, and then it's a real pain to try to get them back. So you always want to get into the photo op line early. And that starts at roughly about 2 p.m. But if I'm going for Sammy and I want the photo op, I'm going to get there at 1 p.m. to be honest with you.
So, yeah, we always recommend anyone that has the photo ops to get there about 15 minutes before the start time with Sosa, because it'll be a little bit bigger, maybe about 20 minutes. You know, we have PA system, so we'll announce when he does start as well as everyone else. But Sosa's going to have a bigger line, and once again, ordering early gets you a better, higher spot in line, and you'd get in and out faster, and not have to wait for everyone to go.
Right. So if you're going down there, and if this is your first Chicago Sports Spectacular, there are individual prices for different things. So if you want a card signed from Sosa, it's going to be $150. Flats up to $16.20. Tickets or baseballs are $200. Caps, minis, gloves, helmets, oversized flats or bobbleheads are $250. Bats and jerseys are $300. 500 home run game used items and artwork is $400. And then inscriptions, there's only 3 max. You can have personalization or 98 NL MVP, 609 home runs, 7-time All-Star, slamming Sammy, 3-time 60 home run, 66 home run, go Cubs go. Those are all $79 each, and you get a max of 3. And if you are doing the photo ops, $199 for the photo op. And there's a limit to 300 autographs per day. So once Sammy hits 300, his day's done, but he's also signing on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to have 300 available for Saturday and 300 available for Sunday. It's very possible that both days are going to sell out. And sometimes on these, you know, bigger headliners, we do sell out weeks before the show.
Right. And you know, if you're going on Saturday and you're kind of coming up with a game plan, I mean, Mark Grace is also going to be there. I don't know if we got a time yet for Grace. Obviously he was with the, you know, teammate of Sammy's, Cub Hall of Fame class of 2023. He's signing, and for Grace, it's $55 for flats and balls, $75 all other items, $25 inscriptions, and $55 photo ops. So I think this is the first time he's come to the Spectacular since getting in the Hall of Fame, correct? For the Cubs Hall of Fame.
Yes, this will be his first appearance since making the Cubs Hall of Fame. It's always great to have Gracie around. He's gets a little tougher because he still works in baseball. But yeah, he happened to have that day free and was able to make the appearance at the show this year.
Wonderful. And then also on Saturday, if you didn't get your fill of Sammy Sosa and his teammates, how about Moises Alou? All right. He's going $59 flats to 16 by 20 in balls, 69 all other items, $25 inscriptions, 59 photo ops. So, I mean, that might be a great opportunity to get some side of team signed piece from the 2003 team that just had their 20th anniversary relatively recently. So to think about that, when I think about Alou and so obviously Sosa, but Grace, like you said, timing wise, he works for the D-backs and stuff like that. These are three guys that don't come all the time. Some guys you're going to see over and over again, especially with Sosa, these are guys that are going to be rare to kind of get again. So I'm just saying, if you got an opportunity, get out to Rosemont, correct?
Yeah, and actually, I have one more Cub that we just confirmed today. Will be Derek Lee.
Oh my God! Breaking news: D. Lee also going to be there. Another teammate of Sammy Sosa. So unbelievable. I mean, that is just fantastic. And another guy that's not really in town that much. So, like we talked about earlier, you can buy tickets the day of the event. But to me, the smart bet, especially with the interest and the media attention with Sosa's return, the presale is so important. It's your best opportunity not to get shut out. It starts at 9 a.m. And so what you do, if you've never done this before, at 9 a.m., you go on the Chicago Sports Spectacular website. Be patient. Don't freak out. It sometimes takes a couple of minutes to start populating, right? And when it goes on sale, you'll see the images with each player, and it'll say photo. It'll say it'll say, bat, whatever you want to get autographed, and you click on it, you put it in the cart. And then while you're in that digital waiting room, while you're doing that, the pre-sale, the smartest thing to do is to get your admission tickets for the weekend, because then once the spectacular comes, you have a special line, you can get in really easy. And, it just makes life a whole lot easier rather than buying your tickets the day of.
Yeah, we definitely agree with that. Right. Get it all out of the way, and you can go right to Wilco, get everything you need at that time, and you're ready to go for the show. And the last thing we want to do is have people stuck in line we want them in the show, having a good time, seeing all the cool exhibitors stuff out there, as well as going and meeting the autographed guests.
So if you are an adult, for a one-day pass, $15, children 10 and below are $10, children 5 and below are free. There's a sneak peek, $25 Friday only. The weekend 3-day pass is $49. So that includes a sneak peek at $25 value. But with a guy like Sosa in the house, I would say the smart bet is the VIP. That's front of the line access. So when they call VIPs, that's the first thing that gets called. You get in early. There's a VIP pavilion. It really, to me, is kind of the smart bet. It's $150, but if you think about it, it's like $50 for 3 days. So it's $100 just to kind of save you aggravation and to get, again, the nice VIP pavilion, which you guys have started recently.
Yeah, the VIP package, they have great value to them. You get, especially if you're doing the autograph lines, you get the first in line bracelets. We call the VIPs before even ticket number one. So that works great. You get a goodie bag of a whole bunch of stuff from our different sponsors, as well as giveaways, autographed 8x10s, stuff like that. And you get autographs of the VIP guests that we will have, which will be announced shortly as well. And then we also have our VIP lounge that you'd have access to, which is a place to go sit down and relax.
Right. And so this is a picture of me from the last Chicago Sports Spectacular. And the thing that people don't understand is that there are, you said, over 300 vendors, and it has a little bit of everything. You can buy stuff like paintings. This is a Jansky painting that, people are out there, they're selling paintings to get signed. I always laugh at this. Tyson's going to be there. I'm a kid of the 80s. And so, Mike Tyson's Punch Out was kind of a big thing. And I love this picture of all the different characters from the game, and it's signed by Tyson. That's awesome. Kevin, I got to show you something I picked up at the last Chicago Sports Spectacular. I've been searching for this for like 15 years, probably. This is a Phantom 1945 pennant for the Chicago Cubs. It says Chicago Cubs World Series 1945 champions. And it has a lot of great names on there. Stan Hack, Andy Pafko, Bill Nicholson, Peanut Lowry, Phil Cavaretta, Claude Passau, Charlie Grimm was the manager. But I mean, that is a rare find. And so that's the thing. You're going to find things like those old school nodders, programs, and of course, baseball cards are huge.
Yeah, we are putting a lot of time and work to try and get a great core of vendors out there. That way we get a whole bunch of everything. Like you said, you can find rare pennants. We have artwork out there. We have framing. We have people who accept framing. We'll have on-site authentication, submission by JSA, PSA, and Beckett, as well as GSC grading will be on there. We have top auction houses, Pristine Auction and Golden Auction will be in attendance. And then you have, a lot of different companies that sell cards and autograph stuff. I always hear about a Jordan rookie that sells big on the floor. I think in November, it was anything Ohtani was a big deal.
I can imagine. And for me, one of my things, and I kind of got into this a little bit late, so I'm playing a little bit of catch up. This is, you have an opportunity to get those photo ops. And if you ever get the photo op, I want to say you guys will print it off. You have to buy this you don't just get it. But if you get a free $10 ticket, you guys will print off the photo, and then you just go back in line and get the player to sign it. Now you have to have the ticket for the signature as well. Separate things, but that's been kind of one of my jams lately. It's really fun to do the Dawson or whatever player comes up, whether it's Sammy or Derek Lee, getting the photo and then turning around and having them sign it. So that one's a fun one. I love that. That's why I love the photo ops. And the last show you guys had, you had Schwarber out there, and that was a massive line too for Schwarber.
Yeah, Schwarber, we had to start him real early because he was on a time crunch because he had another obligation. And the fans were out there and they're ready to go, and they're very excited to see him, as well as all the other 2016 Cubs. We've always had really good traction with the fans wanting everybody back from those teams. Any championship team in Chicago, the fans just fall in love with them.
Yeah, you had Soler as well, and who knows, maybe he'll still end up as a Cub. But the main thing I want to tell people is that when you're in line, it's weird. You're kind of sitting in line, you're waiting. And then all of a sudden everything kind of happens really quick. You want to kind of be prepared, know what you want to get signed, know which marker you want them to sign it in, whether it's one that you bring or one that they have at the table. You guys always have plenty of markers at the table, however you do it, but just be kind of really prepared. And I always say, hand the photo first, tell them where you want to sign it, then hand the pen, because sometimes it kind of gets automatic. They grab and they start signing. And if you're particular about where you want them to sign, take your time, give them the photo, then give them the marker, as opposed to that's just a little tip I got for everybody, The VIP room, which is available if you get the VIP package or the 3-day package, is something you guys just started recently, right?
Yeah, that was something that we started in November. Something we've been talking to the convention center about finding a room that wasn't on cement floor like the rest of the show, that we can kind of create into a VIP kind of getaway. Our VIPs are at the show pretty much all day, all 3 days. Most of them are there as early as 1-2 o'clock starting on Friday. They do the sneak peek. To let them have a place where they can go and sit, and a lot of them actually kind of readjust all their stuff because they end up with so much stuff. That way they can go and put it down and get it all in order and not be in the way of people on the main show. But also there were chairs in there were some drinks and snacks in there, as well as tables and stuff. And I know people are even doing trades in there, so
Yep. And so this is where I was in there in the lounge, and they had food over there. They had games. You kind of just kick back, nice chairs. There was the Vienna beef and the drinks, and it was just a lot. It was really nice. Like you said, if you're going to be going for 2 or 3 days, for me, this is the way I usually do it, is I go on Friday for my authentication. I go in, drop off all my stuff to get authenticated. And Friday is the day that I start kind of really perusing the grounds. What do we got? What's for sale? What am I interested in? And then, I usually kind of try to buy everything and bring it home on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday is the autograph day. But like you said, if you're all 3 days, it's nice to have a little place to duck in. Now, if you're coming just for one day, Dr. Scholl's feet inserts, shoe inserts will absolutely save you, because it is cement floors and it is a long day. And if you're getting a little long in the tooth like we are, Kevin, it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean?
No, and we've got great feedback from the VIP lounge that people really like, just any place to kind of go sit down. And go, like I said, people end up with bags and bags of stuff, and that way they're able to kind of combine them into fewer bags. And sometimes there's a wait of, if Sammy's going at 2:00 in the afternoon, the next guy might be at noon, so you might, or previously at noon, or next guy might be at 4:00, so you might have a little bit of time. So it gives you a chance to relax, and it can become a long day, especially a long weekend if you're there all 3 days.
Right. And so if you are interested in the VIP package, it's 150. Like I said, there's only 250 available. So you want to kind of keep an eye out on that. To me, like I said, it's especially depending on what the weekend's going to look like for you. Sometimes it just really is the best bet. And then I would say, one final tip I'd have is don't forget, if this is going to be your first time at the Spectacular, you do that self-parking. Just make sure you bring your ticket with you, put it in your back pocket or your wallet or somewhere. And then that way, when you leave, you can prepay to exit. It just makes life a lot easier. But Kevin, I got to tell you, I am so impressed with the lineup for this show. And now you tell me Derek Lee's coming. I mean, that's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I think, you guys do it best, and you keep bringing in better and better guests, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I'm guaranteeing Sosa is going to be a sellout. I'm guaranteeing there's going to be news cameras around there. The Chicago Sports Spectacular, one of the best shows even before this ever happened. And this spring, you guys have it in the spring, the summer, and the fall, but this is the spring show, March 15th to the 17th. It is going to be exciting, Kevin. Now, I want to also thank you for jumping on here. And if anybody has any questions, as far as, you can always contact Kevin, or you can contact Chicago Sports Spectacular, and the website has everything you really need to know. Kevin, is there any place that they can contact you other than the phone or the email? Is there any socials you have?
So we have our Facebook page, which is Chicago Sports Spectacular. But all the information is on our website at chicagosportspectacular.com. And there's also a contact us if you have any questions.
All right, Kevin, thank you for taking some time out of your busy day, and best of luck for you at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Listeners, if you have any questions and you just want to hit me up, you can always message me at Crawley's Cubs or flythew670@gmail.com. Thanks again, Kevin, for jumping on.
Thanks for having me. We hope to see everyone March 15th or 17th at the Chicago Sports Spectacular.